Namaste and welcome to class. And thank you so much for sitting with me with your undivided attention in this amazing warm fall day here in Quebec. The lesson I want to bring into the awareness today is how we can help others in their own spiritual path, especially if we are in our spiritual path and we acquire tools and understanding and apply some things that we know is helpful, and then we see others in such a suffering, especially the ones that are near us. So first, let's consider different aspects that it will determine how, when, and who is helping the other one. So we start with the who. Who is helping the other? And in that, we need to consider that you may be one of these individuals that are born to be a platform of inspiration to others, either as a counselor, as a teacher, as a guide, as a healer in some sort. Then you innate are moved very strongly and very deeply to help others and stimulate others in that way, especially if you are a mother, because the mother is the first teacher and is the one that exercise all those inspirations of us being a guide. So you need to ask yourself, are you a guide? Are you born to be a guide? Is it that your deepest passion? And if that is so, you will have different courses per se that will determine the style that you are, either through dancing, through speaking, through cooking, any media where you are teaching any upliftment. And then I mentioned the mother because it's one of your first stages where you are a guru to that child. And in that child is so open and blank to your guidance, but it's not what you say, is what is happening in your subconscious. And that's something that we need to see through all our guidances. That is not what we say, is who is saying it. If you are saying, oh, you are a good girl or you are a good boy, but inside you're dealing with your own frustration, with your own unpresence, with your own fear, that's what the carrier of that voice, it will be deposited in the child. And then the child will read that fear and it will usually magnetize it and express it. In the same way, when you start cultivating your spiritual side and you are more aware of this behind the scenes feelings, and you start purifying them and seeing that, oh, most of these fears and worries and anxieties and so on are just phantoms of my own drama, are phantoms of the ego, are inventions of my mind. They're not really true to myself. I am not that. I am not fear. I may experience it fear, but I am not fear. With that clarity, you start transmitting through your words, transmitting to your actions. Your presence becomes like a diamond that reflects the others around you in a very clear way. And that is the information that others spiritually need. We, of course, want to lecture and we want to apply the tools that had worked for us. We want to apply it for others. But really that is not going to work because others have to find their own language. right? For example, if I am a mother of a boy, when my boys were in certain age, I want them to do yoga and more feminine things. Well, they will prefer more like the karate and, you know, the assert their strength and the male force. So I learned that, okay, that's not the way. But if I am well, if I am sustaining their own exploration with respect, right? That, okay, they may fall and be hurt. And I have to cross my eyes and say, okay, he falls, he have the pain, but it's part of his learning. And actually, without that drama, without that experience, that teen or that person could not mature and get that strength. So it's important that you realize that the only one who can really help is your own heart emanation. When is also another factor. There are timing for each person, near or far from you, that are more available for you to put your seed of inspiration. There are timings where, in time of crisis, for example, or in time where we are actually looking for a shift of identity or a shift, we have the curiosity and open eyes and to check what people have to say, what are the things. So the timing is very important, that considering, of course, that you're not going to have advice when in the middle of cooking or something. You have to prepare certain sacred place and directness when you say, listen, I want to talk to you. Let's go for dinner. Let's go for a walk. And I want to talk about this. You take what is needed or you don't. But I feel inspired to share with you. Now, and that you need to confront the old ways of you feeling rejected when you say the truth. People don't like to be the truth, hear the truth, but maybe it was the wrong people, or was not the right timing, or it was not graceful from your part. So you need to overcome that belief system that you are not being heard or that you're being rejected because you're saying the truth. The truth is the one that comes from your heart and have no hidden agenda, right? This is important because I'm not going to open the space. It's okay, I want to talk to you about this and so on. And behind that, I have a hidden motives. They say, okay, I'm going to talk to my husband about this so he can change, so I can be happy. Or if he changed them, he's proving that he loves me. No. You are very clean and proposing your perspective. And your perspective is different than suggesting tools. You offer the perspective, says, this is what I see, that where you are right now. And then you don't need per se say, okay, then you need to do this. It may have worked for you, but it may not have worked for what the other person is ready to embark or have more resonance with, right? It's not like if I go to my husband and say, well, I see that you're eating too much cheese and that make you dull and that make you're allergic to it, so you have some consequences. You are deluding yourself. Why you are doing that? But I don't say, oh, don't eat the cheese, and it's up to him, right? So in that regards, you need to have the distinguish of what is that you are communicating, and that clear aspect that you are not giving that advice because of hidden agenda, for you to gain something, for them to recognize you, for you to exalt, to feel that, oh, you're so wise. Nothing of that. Especially when we are in the close ones. We don't want the ones around us to suffer because that disturb us. But disturb is in some ways not accepting the path of others, that it could be experiences or painful things, but we don't know the big picture of others. So restrain from giving things that the person is not ready. Which lead me to the third part, is the vessel that is either resonating with you or is not resonating with you. You are not going to convince anybody of how they should do in order to get well. The only thing that will help is by you being more you, and by you showing by example your clarity, your enthusiasm, your joy, your self-care. So, Mom, I remember when my kids were little, it doesn't matter what, I'm not available when I am in the bathroom and when I'm meditating. And until this day, if they see me meditating, they do, oh, Mom is meditating. So it's something that you can educate, and as you are in your own conviction of demonstrating that time is important for you, that connection is important for you. So you transmit that permission for others to be with themselves, and they found their own answers, their own ways, especially if they are adults. When you take your own time for you in retreats or your meditation or in it's inspiring for others. And you teach by example. You teach by embodying it, your life force, and you teach with the joy of the enthusiasm that you can demonstrate the potentiality that you have. So helping others can be, if it's not well understood, it can fold you into, the missionary and preaching others and resenting if they don't do what you want or envision. And usually a woman knows exactly what they need, but we don't know exactly how the other are going to implement it. So we need to have the patience, and we need to restrain ourselves from trying to control the path of others in the way that we envision for us to be well, for us not to suffer by seeing others suffering. Now, for us, it may be suffering, but for them, may be a prerequisite to get strong. Remember, we don't know the big picture, and we don't want to cross the spirituality and the path of others because we are in our own path and we feel a little bit ahead of the game. What you can offer right now is stability. And that stability is by you not reacting to that pain, you not to reacting to your own missionary, to your own self that is okay, I need really to help. So no, bring it inwardly, say, the person that needs most help is me. By acknowledging who I am, by acknowledging my potential, by acknowledging that I can follow my passion, by acknowledging that there is an illusion in me that is limiting me and that I'm not going to bite in it, and there is a potential in me that I am reactivating and reprogramming to sustain me and to be in that stability of expression. So it's a beautiful thing to help each other. And we are really born for it. If you see young children, they want to help mom. It's just when the mom start putting more than they naturally want to do, they may become resentful and they finish checking out. And this happens with any relationship. When you put too much demands and too much expectations, the other person just feel burned, and then you feel, oh no, I don't want to serve that other person. It's in its own agenda, it's controlling. I don't feel relaxed. I don't feel well. So it is not be scared of saying the truth. It's selecting the place, the timing, and the who, and also to what purpose. What is your purpose? Is your purpose in helping for what reason? For what reason you want to help? With that understanding, you can measure what are the expressions that can be heard, can be constructive, and that you're healing yourself to be heard again to yourself and to step forward where your own identity, your own heart is the one that display the energy that anybody wants, love. I thank you very much for sitting with me, and I'll see you in our next class. Namaste.